Hello, everyone. Welcome to PHTV4. I'm Sue Jankowski, and we are here with the Travel Show. One of my favorite things to do, although I love it all. The Travel Show is always so exciting because you can dream big and then you can do it. And to bring us a guest today, Kathy Janes is here as always, bringing us great information and some details. Thanks for being here today, Kathy.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. This is always a fun thing to do, and I enjoy it.
Good.
And I learn from this, too, and we have these guests that tell me things that I never knew before.
Great.
And that's important.
That is important.
Yeah.
Class Act Travel, don't forget the name. And then we have as our guest today, Mina Amendola, and I am so happy for you to be here today. Mina's going to tell us about some places you're going to want to go, and I think this country in particular, I'll let her tell you what it is a place where, I think everybody wants to go because, you know, it's historic, it's delicious food and lovely people and all of that.
Absolutely.
So, what do you work for, and what's your company, and maybe give us a little history about the company.
Sure. So I will talk first. I was with the Italy Tourist Board for 21 years. And so I was kind of the go-between for anyone coming from Italy to market to travel advisors, tour operators. So I was the go-between. The Chicago office closed in 2018, and I came right over to Perillo Tours, and that's where I am right now. I am the Director of Sales and Marketing for Perillo Tours, and my focus is to promote in the Midwest. I think the Midwest sometimes is overlooked. Perillo Tours.
Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. So we have to change that.
Yes.
Yes. Perillo Tours has been around since 1945. Family owned and operated. Joseph Perillo started in the Bronx, one of the first tour operators to combine land and air tours. So an icon in the Italy travel industry. Steve Perillo is the grandson of Joseph Perillo. Mario Perillo was his father, and he was very famous, notoriety for commercials and things like that. So it's a fun company. It's a great company, solid. Steve Perillo is now the CEO, and we have fourth generation coming in. So Yes,
fun.
His nephew Devin is going to be taking over the company. We're grooming him. And so we continue to be family owned and operated.
Well, this had to be a perfect jump for you because being in what your previous job, you would know a lot about Italy. And so this is such great experience to give people the kind of tours and information they need to have a really great trip.
Yes, it was a perfect tie-in. In the Midwest with travel advisors and tour operators, I was synonymous with Italy, so it was a great tie-in to go into Perillo Tours that is also synonymous with Italy.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Okay, so we're very heavy in the East Coast for people being satisfied since 1946, it sounds like. And now people from the Midwest want to expand their horizons, be maybe on some different tours, and Perillo Tours would be one of them particularly. I guess the focus is Italy.
Yes. And we do also do an escorted tour to Spain, which is great. It was our 75th anniversary tour, and 75th anniversary for us was in 2020. So it didn't go off
as well as you wanted it to, yeah.
But it is a fantastic tour, all-encompassing 13-day Spain escorted tour. And in 2023, we also did Greece for the first time. We had done it in the past, but we brought it back because Greece is very popular.
Yes,
Wouldn't
it
you
is.
say, Kathy?
Yes, it
I
is,
think
extremely.
People like that.
Well, so don't you guys do Hawaii, too?
Yes.
That's a little sticky situation right now.
Right
but,
now it is, yes.
And now the volcano's erupting on the Big Island.
Is it again?
Yeah.
Oh, I
it's not doing a lot, like overflowing its crater, but it is erupting at the moment. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, now for our viewers, please tell us, what is an escorted tour? How does that differ from any other kind of tour?
So an escorted tour kind of takes you in and around. It holds your hand and it takes you to the spots that you have to go to in Italy. So that's what we are famous for. Perillo Tours is famous for escorted tours. That's not all that we do, and we'll talk about Hawaii as well, and we can talk about our FIT, which is fully independent, which is something, Kathy, that,
We did. We did, yes. And it was marvelous. I really have to tell you, it was easy to do. You pick and add and pick and add and take away and what. It was just a fun thing to do to fit their needs or what they wanted to see and do. That's what it was very perfect with that.
Yes. And this is different from the escorted. This you get to pick and choose what you want. And we are Italy, so we do A to Z, whether they want a villa, day trip, whatever they want. But getting back to the escorted, our escorted is what we are known for. This year, because Italy is super, super popular.
Oh my goodness, you can't get people there. You can't
Yes.
get airfare. It's
Yes.
insane.
So I push the escorted. I feel like people want to do custom, they want to go on their own. An escorted tour, it really gives you the taste of Italy without any of the guesswork.
But
Okay,
you know
well-
what you're looking at. I'm sorry, I apologize, honey.
That's all right.
You know what
Yes.
they can tell you what you're looking at because you
Yes.
might not know
Right.
what that is.
And you can't get reservations.
Right,
So like
that's
the
the other thing,
Vatican,
sure.
all these things are completely sold out when you're trying to do them custom, whereas they're already included on an escorted tour. But to this year, what we did for 2024 is we're taking them off the beaten path. So we have 11 itineraries. Many of our itineraries are for the first time traveler, and they work well for if it's your first time going to Italy and you want to see and do as much as you can. An escorted tour is what's going to do that for you.
So when you say escorted, am I being personally escorted? Am I in a car, a bus? How am I being escorted around?
So we have our own luxury bus line, Perillo Tours. They're maroon buses. They're well known in Italy. And we take anywhere from 20 to 40 max passengers on an escorted tour. What we have noticed is there's an increased demand for small group tours. So to accommodate that, we also have small group tours that for 2024 will max them out at 30 people. We have several that we're doing like that.
Okay, so compare that to a fully independent tour. You're not on a bus, you're by yourself, you're just, here's a map, go
where you
out.
wanna go.
Okay.
And with the custom tour, we can also do that though. We can give the client a day trip
Yes.
where we pick them
Yes.
up and take them around with wherever they want to go. So it's just that it's private. It's just them. Or we'll do a day trip where it's 15 other people and you get to see certain sites.
So with that, I would think that with the language, and not everyone in Italy speaks English, so it's your comfort level. Like, am I
Yes,
comfortable, like trying to figure it out?
exactly,
Or do I
exactly.
prefer an escorted tour where someone else is speaking the language so I don't have to worry about it? That would
Right.
be a difference that you had to
Yeah.
think about, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Especially, so some of our off the beaten path that are new for 2024, one is called the Heart of Italy. And it literally is the heart of Italy, which is Umbria. And we're taking them in and around these small towns in Umbria. So in the small
Oh, that's
towns,
different.
English is not readily available at times. I mean, Italy is, I'd say that you can get around in Italy, throughout Italy. But the smaller towns, of course, English is not readily available. So we are taking them escorted to these small towns. Our best seller, I would say, is the Best of Southern Italy. And that one is going into southern areas like Puglia, the teal of Italy.
Oh.
And those areas too, it's hard to navigate that without knowing the language and not knowing where to go.
Because they don't get the tourists.
Yes.
They just
No.
don't. Yeah.
Well, and also the tourists don't know to go there. I mean,
You're right.
You think
Yeah.
Rome, Naples, Venice, you
Yes.
know, these are the places
Yes.
that people think about with Italy, but really to get to know the country, know the people, it would be advantageous to go to some of the smaller places,
Yes.
or the unknown places.
Yes. Sicily has become popular, so we have a south in Sicily, and we're taking it in and around Sicily. Are you getting these phone calls like, I want to go where the White Lotus is, where the movie From Scratch is? So
Oh.
it's like,
Really?
so because of that,
It's yeah. You have to adjust what you guys do
Yes.
to what the demand is at this point, and that's what works with Perillo, and that's what you have to do.
yes.
Because everybody has a different idea.
They do. And
Yeah.
so I guess you have to figure out what is it you want to do and then go from that. But I think it's helpful to talk to a Kathy who can talk to you, who can tell you, kind of hone in what is it you want to do. Because, you know, just like anything, I mean, Italy is as big as a state here, but it's big enough that you don't know exactly where I should go. What should I see? What would be fun? What would be different? And I think
I
people are
agree.
looking for different.
They are looking
too.
for different now. They don't want to do the norm that everybody else has done. They want something different. They want something unusual. And that's what helps where you guys come in, and then we can tell them, well, this is unusual. This is really different
Yes.
or something. Yeah.
Yes, it's an experience. Right?
Yes.
So everyone's looking for an experience. And I've noticed that post-pandemic, people want to travel and they
Out
will,
now.
yes.
Out.
They
Get
will
me
do
out.
anything and they just want it
Just out.
put together. So
Yeah. Okay. So say we want to go. Let's just start with an escorted tour. Like, what would be something that would be typical of someone who has not been to Italy at all? What would they be? What kind of tour would they take?
So I'd say the first time traveler, there's a couple of options. We have a North Classic that was Mario Perillo's first tour that he put together. And that one's very famous. Our North Classic this year, what we did differently is and it goes in and around Italy. So a little bit of everything. Page 16 for reference. We are doing 2 North Classics this year because it's sold out. We couldn't, in 2023, it was completely sold out. So we are doing 2. We're doing a Friday departure and a Sunday departure. One will overnight in Naples and one will overnight in Sorrento. So the Amalfi Coast has become extremely, extremely popular. So we're trying to get people to go to Naples because there's so much to see there and it's a beautiful place. You're still visiting the Amalfi Coast. You're still doing the same itinerary. We're doing Rome, Sorrento, Florence, Venice, Milan. These are the hot spots. These are where everybody wants to go. Not everyone has 15 days though. So this is the North Classic. This is what everybody usually wants to do their first time. If you don't have 15 days, we have a Marco Polo, a Vesuvius that just does Rome, Florence, and Venice, the hot spots. We take them into the Amalfi Coast and just show them what they have to see the first time before they go back over and over and visit the 20 regions of Italy, because there's so much more than Rome, Florence, and Venice. And I think people go get a taste and then go back.
And that's
would
the
agree
thing.
with that.
I think like it's sort of like your bucket list thing. I want to go to Italy and I
Yes.
want to go to Rome. You know, that's like a thing. But it's like to get to know the country.
Yes.
It's good to go somewhere else. And just thinking of some of these things, we have to be on our best behavior when we're out
Yeah. Yes.
at other countries.
Do I really?
Something. There's a lot of naughty people out there lately. So we have to be on our best behavior, which I'm sure our viewers would be. Yes. But okay, so that is so now we did that or we don't want to do that. We've seen pictures of Rome, we get it. You know, maybe we want to just take a different kind of tour. What would be something else that we could do?
So if we want to go off the beaten path, like I said, we have a Best of Southern Italy. We have some new tours this year that we added on. We have a Renaissance tour, and that's just a 9-day tour. But these hotels are 5-star deluxe properties. So it's Rome and Florence, but it's deluxe. So for those for those travelers that want to be handheld, and that one's a great one. There's also the Best of Southern Italy. That one, like I said, this one is become super popular because people are seeing Southern Italy in movies,
Yeah.
and they want to go.
Yes.
But Southern Italy, you really have to either get your day trips put together, which is another thing, Kathy, I think you'd agree. This is no longer, with Italy, you can't just go and wing it.
No.
You
No,
have
no,
to
no,
have
no.
everything booked in advance.
Or else you're not going to see
You're
it.
not going to see anything.
Oh.
So that's something, even if you're doing it on the custom side, get your day trips in there, get everything.
That's
booked.
what ours did. They said they wanted to see this, this, and this, so we set all that up beforehand.
Yes.
So they weren't
Yeah.
totally alone per se, but
Yes.
they still would be able to travel on their own from here to there. And they really just did the 3,
Yes.
and that was fine because they'd
And
never
maybe
been there
that's
before.
enough. I mean, because
well,
you
it
want to
was.
enjoy what you're doing.
Yes,
Yeah.
and you
what
don't
you've
want
gone
to cram too much in
Right.
there. And you're going to forget, well, where was that I saw that? I don't remember where that was now. You don't want to get into that.
No.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not good.
Absolutely. You want to enjoy while you're there.
Exactly.
So there are clients that are like, I have to see everything right now.
You can't do that.
You really
Do you have 2
can't.
months?
No.
Yes.
Yeah, so you have to kind of pick and choose. I know that there are some popular things. It would seem like, I mean, wasn't The Godfather, wasn't it filmed, or like the history of it was Sicily?
Yes.
But people didn't go there particularly. But nowadays, people see something and they want to, go there and
Yes.
experience that because they've experienced it on television.
Yes, and,
Yeah.
and they have certain tours dedicated just to that. So they have the Godfather tours. They have anything that, and you can do a day trip. You can even, if you see this escorted tour, it's put together already. They're doing Rome, Naples, Bari, and Lecce. If they want to do something, pre and post, they could add on, go see where their family was from, or whatever it is that they want to do. They can always add on as well.
It's good you mentioned that because I think a lot of people are into their family history now, and they do want to go to where their grandmother came from or their great, and they want to see where did they live, what did they do. That makes a connection for them a little bit. Do you find a lot of people saying, I have to get to this little town somewhere,
Absolutely.
and that's where my grandfather was born? Okay.
And we'll get them there.
Yeah.
We will. We can. Now that would be a private transfer. You're not going to find those small towns in an escorted tour, but we'll get them there.
And that's important, right?
Yes, we can do a private transfer, take them there. Usually they want to go see, like they go to their city hall, the comune, and they research their family, and many people find people that you're my long lost.
My cousins did that
Yeah.
because
Oh, yeah.
my grandfather came from a little town called Sassafriato, and my cousins went there and they ran into relatives. They first started in City Hall. It didn't work. They went to the church. The church had better
Oh,
records.
yeah, that's true.
Yes.
Yeah.
The
Good
church,
point.
yeah, they had
Yeah.
they just had better records, and they ran into people. My cousin tried to speak Italian, and the ones there tried to speak English. It was kind of funny back and forth trying to talk to each other. But they did
But they
do
tried
that.
and they did. Yeah.
They got along
Yeah.
fine, and that they got a relationship going with our relatives there
Yeah.
in this
That's
little town.
great.
Is it? I
Yeah.
mean, it is important to find out your roots.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really.
Yes. Now, would you say that Italy in particular seems to be very, very popular right now? And what would be the reason for that, do you think?
Well, I think.
I have no idea.
I mean,
why
why Italy?
We don't
Well,
know.
I do. It was the first one hit during the pandemic, so they could not go. So I know a lot of people during that period were like, the first chance I get, I'm going to Italy. But let's be honest, Italy sells itself. It's always on
yes.
everyone's bucket
Yeah.
list.
Yeah.
So, but 2023, and I don't see it slowing down for
No.
2024. If
It's-
anything, I think 2024 might even be more
It's
popular.
crazy. It's
Yes.
just crazy.
So really, if you're thinking about going to Italy, you really need to be talking to Kathy
Now.
and
Early.
finding out, because you're
Yeah.
going to want to plan. And even 2025 isn't too early because then you'll get what you want.
Exactly.
And you can
exactly.
plan ahead, you can do your history, research, whatever. Correct? I mean, you could make
absolutely.
plans for that far ahead of time. It
Yes.
seems kind of crazy, but
It's a good.
Yeah.
And the
It
other
is.
thing is the passports. Remember we talked about this before.
right.
Please look at your passports. Make sure that they're current because they have to be good for 6 months before your return date or after your return date. I'm sorry. Make sure they are, and they're very, very slow right now getting out passports. So please check that out. That's very important.
Yeah, if you're traveling in 2024, it really isn't too soon to
No,
get
it
that
isn't.
passport
No.
or
It
get
isn't
it
at all.
renewed or
No.
whatever.
Yes.
Okay, so Mina, where else? What else? What other kind of trip would we be taking? I want to dream big here.
You want to go for it?
I do.
Yeah, so I think we have a Rome and Amalfi as far as Italy goes. That's very popular. Like I mentioned, the green heart of Italy. That's taking you. Umbria is the heart of Italy. It's next to Tuscany, so we're doing Tuscany and Umbria together.
Okay.
And that's off the beaten path. So this is for a traveler that's already been and wants to see something else. So that's something off the beaten path.
Okay.
Like I said, we have a south in Sicily. That's off the beaten path and very popular. Those sell out pretty much instantly. The Rome and Amalfi as well was very popular this year.
Okay, I'm just going to look at this map and ask you this question. So this is going. I'm not sure where you start here, but you're going to go from Capri or Pompeii or Sorrento, something up there. You're going to go kind of through the middle of the state and get to Florence and then end up at Venice or vice versa. What length of trip would that be? I mean, is that like a really long time? It doesn't look that far, but maybe it is.
So this particular one is our Vesuvius. In our Vesuvius, we overnight in Rome, Sorrento, and Florence. And from Rome to Sorrento to Florence, we take buses. What we included in this Vesuvius tour, and I'm actually taking this one in November, is a train ride to Venice. So that, this is for a
yeah.
first-time traveler, and
Yeah.
they have to see Venice. So some people love Venice, some people, do not, but you have to see it, whether you love it or not.
You're there, you
you're
should
there,
go.
You have to go see it.
Yeah.
So we take them on a train ride and do a lunch in Venice, just for the day, on this
okay.
particular one.
I see. So then you would be there for the day and you would go back to Florence.
Come right back down by a train, yes.
By a train,
And the
which is
trains
kinda
in
fun,
Italy are
too.
so comfortable. It's not like, it's beautiful because it's scenic. You can look out the window and it's beautiful. It's a nice,
Sorry.
It's okay.
yeah. So it's a great way to see Italy, and
Okay.
it's quick. We have fast train services. You can get to Rome to Florence in less than 2 hours. So it's very quick.
Okay.
Sorry, guys.
That's
My
okay.
goodness.
No, that's all right. Don't worry about it. Okay, so that is, I'm looking at a 10-day trip here for
Yes.
this. So you're really, really diving into where you are once you're there.
Yes.
And so you're really getting out and touring the area, churches and history and restaurants and all kinds of things like that.
Yes. So with our escorted tours, all your day trips, all those things that we have to piece together if you want to go custom, they're already included. And we're dining at restaurants. With Brillo Tours, we dine Italian style. So Italian style, we feed our clients, no matter where they are, whether they're in Spain or Greece or Hawaii. We are Italian, and we feed our
We
clients.
feed them. We
Yes,
feed
we
them.
feed them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So one way that we dine in Italy is we have an antipasto, which is like your appetizer. Then we serve them pasta as their primo. It's like the first, and then we do il secondo, which is meat or fish, and then salad afterwards. We give them coffee, wine. So all of that is included with your meal, with your Perillo tour. So you don't have to go look, and it's at restaurants, authentic restaurants, authentic meals.
I mean,
it's
who
all
doesn't
good.
like Italian food?
No,
I
it's
mean,
impossible.
everybody does. I mean, it's just so delicious. Okay, so that
Oh, my goodness.
that
Great.
sounds like fun. Just that's okay. You okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes, dear.
So that would be great to be able to do that, and then have your hotels you're staying at, which are great hotels.
4 and 5 star deluxe properties. So these are all city center. Everything that we do is 4 and 5 star deluxe at a contracted rate. So they're getting an excellent value. If you piece together an escorted tour, it's going to be almost double. Because we are getting these contracted rates, having been there since 1945.
Yeah.
So the client can take advantage of that.
Is there any season that's like better, like less people or better weather? Is there a time that's like optimal to go?
Well, I used to say May and September. So those are, that's before it becomes busy season. May and September now are busy season
Oh, okay,
because
it's
so
all busy.
popular.
Yeah.
But I enjoy going in November. If you go in November, you can't necessarily go to the Amalfi Coast. You can go to the Amalfi Coast. You might not be able to, see it. But November is a great time, and it's off season. October is phenomenal because October the weather is still good. We're still a little bit into high season because of this year.
Well, just because it worked out.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it is a great time to go. So I'd say, spring and fall to avoid the crowds.
Okay. Yeah. Are people taking like big family trips?
Yes,
this
absolutely.
time?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
that I've noticed an increase in. So, and for us, we do groups. We do groups of 10 or more, and we don't just do Italy. So for us, we do student groups, faith-based groups. There's been an uptick as well, and we will do that for 10 people or more. But what I'm noticing in our groups department is that it's the majority of those people are just families. They're extended families
Yeah.
that haven't
Just
been
want to
able to
go.
travel, so they want to go all together.
Let's all go.
Yes.
Let's talk about Hawaii for a moment, because you're going there.
Switch.
No, I mean, we did talk about, there's a few little problems, but Lahaina is just one small area in Maui, so it doesn't prevent people from going. I mean, we're all heart-struck and we feel terrible, but I know that Hawaii does depend on tourism to make things go. So we don't want to not go there either. So you know, there's other islands to go to, but Maui is a great place. What would you say about your Hawaiian tours?
So I've been planning Italy, or you know, I've been the go-to for Italy for my whole adult life. But I have to say, when I came over to Perillo Tours, Steve Perillo forced me to go on his Hawaii tour.
Oh man,
Just twisted your arm and said you
Terrible.
got
Twisted my
to.
arm.
what a boss!
Yeah.
And I was blown away. I have to say that I've been to Hawaii on my own. I was there for my honeymoon. I went independently. But doing this escorted tour, so our Hawaii is escorted. We have a 10-day and a 13-day, and we do 3 islands and 4 islands. But this is something, it's different. It's not, it's FIT, it's custom meets escorted. And what I mean by that is it's laid back, you're still going to the beach, you're doing everything that you would have done if you're going on your own, but everything is taken care of. All your inter-island flights, just the hotels we stay at are superior class hotels. You already get an ocean view. So you're already upgraded as a Perillo client. And a la carte dining. So we dine, it's not like wristband, all-inclusive, all-you-can-eat and drink. It's you're dining at Duke's. You're dining at Tide Pools, at the Grand Hyatt, which are phenomenal restaurants that you can't really get reservations for right now. But that's where you're dining with your group. And you tell your tour guide, I want to go at 7, I want to go at this time. And you go and you have a Perillo menu that includes an appetizer.
So you don't have to go with the whole group for dining. You can go at your time.
So it depends on the hotel. So that
okay.
has been different this year because
Of the
Hawaii.
mess. Yeah. Right. Yeah. Okay.
So normally in the past when I went, you could dine whenever you wanted, but you had to, you
had to say
Perillo.
you were Perillo, and it was okay, which is
Everything
fine.
was-
Yeah.
Yes, everything was included. Your tip, everything. Wine is included. You go
Oh,
to
all
Duke's,
right.
you have a hula pie, you have a Mai Tai, all included.
Okay.
So it's a great way to travel
Okay,
because you
now
don't
wait a
take your wallet out.
What's a hula pie? I'm sorry, I don't know.
Shakes a little. You know, I think what you're saying too is if you did want to go to the other islands, you wouldn't have to figure that all out.
Yes.
Get to the airport, get a flight, you know, because it's not a long flight, but you still have to make arrangements.
Yes.
It would be nice to have really a worry-free trip there.
And that is what we did. We've been doing Hawaii for like 37 years now, and it really just takes all of the stress away from planning Hawaii. So
Absolutely.
it really is a great way to go, especially with Hawaii too. They were overcome. They're very, very
Oh,
popular.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's a great way to travel. And again, there, if you look at an escorted tour with Hawaii and you look at the price point, it's so much better to do it as an escorted
Yeah,
tour.
that sounds lovely, and Kathy can tell you about that too.
Right,
Over there,
right.
you know, what
Over
to
at
do.
Class Act Travel.
Yeah,
Over
Class
there
Act.
and we're somewhere.
Over there.
Yes.
Somewhere.
She can tell you all about that.
The other thing too is they can tell you the little stories about the island people and some of their beliefs and what they have.
Yep.
That's part of learning about Hawaii
Yes.
too.
Yes.
And that's important, I think.
It
too.
really is. It really is
Yeah.
And
important.
that's what's nice is they have local guides. So there's 2 guides that do this, and they're local, so they can tell you about the culture. And we do a lot of cultural things already included, like the luau is already included. All those things that we have to piece together when it's
When you're doing it on
custom,
your own.
right?
Yeah.
It's very
Yeah, it is hard.
complicated.
Yeah.
So this is a nice alternative, and it's nice for Kathy to book it because it's already
easy.
Yeah.
It's already put together. It's good.
Well, otherwise you're trying to, okay, if I do this, then I can't do that, so I have to take,
Yes.
and that's what you have to work with, trying to figure it all in
It
there.
is. Yeah, it is. Well,
hard.
I think there's a lot of choices for you out there. I know a lot of people want to go to Italy. I would love to go to Italy, and maybe one day I will.
Yeah.
And I'll talk to Kathy, and she can. Kathy can escort us there.
Okay.
But Mina, thank you so much for bringing in all this great information about
Thank you so
Perillo Tours. And I think it's a great name to keep in mind when you're thinking about tours, because it's kind of a little bit new to us, even though it's not new at all, 75 years after all. But it's good to go to Kathy, ask her about Perillo Tours. Kathy, want to give the address?
Sure. Okay, it's Class Act Travel, We're in Worth. The address is 6946 West 111th Street, the corner of 111th and Worth Avenue. We are open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You can stay Saturday if you need it, or late during the week if you need it. Contact us at 448-6560. Thank you.
All right. Thanks for watching us today. Thanks again, Mina.
Thank you.
Go out and make it a great day. Bye now.